Have you ever woken up in the morning, reached for a drink without thinking, and wondered why you still feel tired, foggy, or swollen, even though you're trying to do everything right? What most people don't realize is that the damage to their kidneys often begins before breakfast, quietly and visibly, with the very first thing they drink after waking up. I'm Dr. Johnny, and I need to be very clear with you right now. Your kidneys work all night long to clean your blood, remove toxins, and keep you alive. But the first drink you choose in the morning can either give them relief or push them closer to failure day after day without any obvious warning signs. And this is what makes it dangerous. Kidney damage doesn't usually hurt. It doesn't scream. It builds silently while people believe they're being healthy. I've seen patients shocked by rising creatinine levels who tell me the same thing: I never thought something so simple in the morning could matter this much. But here's the good news, and this is why you need to stay with me. There are simple, affordable morning drinks that can help flush toxins, reduce strain on your kidneys, and support their natural function before the day even begins. No extreme diets, no medications, just smart choices at the right time. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to drink in the morning and what to avoid so you can protect your kidneys before it's too late. After your kidneys spend the entire night filtering your blood, removing waste and concentrating toxins into urine, the very first drink you choose in the morning becomes their first point of contact with the outside world. This moment matters more than most people realize because your kidneys are slightly dehydrated under pressure and extremely sensitive right after you wake up. And this is where many people unknowingly make a mistake that slowly damages them over time. I remember a patient in her early 60s who told me she had done everything right. She walked every morning, avoided junk food, and drank what she believed was healthy. Yet her lab results kept getting worse. Her creatinine was creeping up, and recurrent urinary infections kept coming back. When we traced her routine step by step, the issue wasn't dinner. It wasn't exercise. It was what she drank first thing in the morning, something sugary and acidic that quietly irritated her urinary tract day after day. This is why unsweetened cranberry juice used correctly can be a powerful ally for kidney health. Cranberries are naturally low in potassium, which is critical because weakened kidneys struggle to remove excess potassium from the blood. When potassium builds up silently, it can affect heart rhythm and put dangerous stress on the kidneys themselves. Choosing a low potassium morning drink gives your kidneys breathing room instead of forcing them to fight another uphill battle. But cranberry juice doesn't stop there. It's rich in vitamin C, a potent antioxidant. Every time your kidneys filter blood, they generate oxidative stress, tiny molecular damage that builds up slowly like rust on metal. Vitamin C helps neutralize these free radicals, reducing long-term injury to kidney tissue. Studies have also shown that compounds in cranberries prevent certain bacteria from sticking to the bladder wall. Instead of multiplying and traveling upward toward the kidneys, those bacteria are flushed out naturally during urination. This matters more than people think. A large number of kidney problems don't start in the kidneys at all. They begin as repeated urinary tract infections that were never fully prevented. Morning is the most strategic time to intervene because after hours of sleep, urine is concentrated and bacteria have had time to settle. A properly diluted, unsweetened cranberry drink in the morning helps rehydrate the body, dilute toxins, and create an environment where infections struggle to survive. The key, however, is how you drink it. Most store-bought cranberry juices are loaded with sugar, and sugar spikes inflammation, damages blood vessels, and cancels out many of the kidney protective effects. The safest approach is unsweetened cranberry juice, diluted about 1 part juice to 3 parts water. This gives you the benefits without overwhelming your system. Used consistently, this simple habit can lower infection risk, reduce oxidative stress, and gently support kidney function over time. But here's the critical part most people miss, and this is important. Cranberry juice protects your kidneys from one specific threat. It does not protect them from everything. And there is another morning drink that millions of people consume, believing it's harmless, when in reality, it may be placing even more pressure on their kidneys than they realize. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next factor is even more dangerous and most people completely overlook it. If cranberry juice protects your kidneys from hidden infections, the next morning drink works in a very different but equally important way. Because once bacteria are under control, The next silent enemy your kidneys face is chronic inflammation and crystal buildup, two processes that slowly wear kidney tissue down without obvious pain. And this is where green tea quietly does work that most people never see. I once spoke with a man in his late 50s who was doing everything he thought was right. He avoided soda, rarely ate fast food, and drank plenty of fluids. Yet imaging showed early stone formation, and his kidney function was slowly declining. What surprised him most was that dehydration and inflammation, not protein or salt alone, were driving the damage. His routine had no consistent source of protective antioxidants, especially in the morning when his kidneys were most vulnerable. Green tea is powerful because of what's inside those leaves. It contains catechins, including a compound called EGCG, which has been shown in multiple studies to reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in kidney cells. In simpler terms, green tea helps calm the internal irritation that forces kidneys to work harder than they should. Less inflammation means smoother blood filtration and less long-term scarring of delicate kidney tissue. There's more. Kidney stones often form when minerals slowly crystallize in concentrated urine. Research shows that green tea can lower oxalate levels in urine, reducing the chance that those painful crystals form in the first place. For people with borderline kidney function, this matters enormously because once stones begin forming, they can trigger blockages, infections, and further kidney damage over time. Green tea also supports healthy blood pressure, and this is critical. High blood pressure is one of the leading causes of kidney failure worldwide. When pressure stays elevated, tiny blood vessels in the kidneys are damaged bit by bit. Green tea has been linked to modest reductions in blood pressure and improved vascular function, helping protect the very blood supply your kidneys depend on to survive. Timing matters here. In the morning after hours without fluids, your urine is more concentrated and your blood vessels are slightly constricted. A warm cup of green tea gently rehydrates the body, delivers antioxidants, and wakes your system without the sharp spikes caused by sugary drinks or heavy caffeine. Preparation is key. Water should be hot, not boiling, and steep for about 2 to 3 minutes. Longer steeping increases bitterness and reduces benefits. 1 to 3 cups a day is enough. And skipping sugar is non-negotiable because sugar fuels inflammation and cancels out much of what green tea is meant to do. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even if you avoid infections and reduce inflammation, your kidneys still struggle if blood sugar keeps spiking every morning. And that brings us to a morning habit many people think is healthy, but can quietly overload the kidneys if done wrong. But knowing this alone isn't enough because there's another factor even more dangerous, and most people completely overlook it. After infections are controlled and inflammation is reduced, there's another quiet pressure your kidneys face every single morning: blood sugar spikes. And this is where many people unintentionally do damage while believing they're making a healthy choice. Because not all morning drinks nourish the kidneys. Some overwhelm them. And the difference often comes down to how smoothies are made. I once worked with a woman in her early 60s who swore by her morning smoothie. Every day without fail, she blended fruit juice, bananas, flavored yogurt, and honey. It tasted fresh, it felt energizing, but her lab work told a different story. Her blood sugar was swinging wildly and her kidney function was slowly declining. The smoothie wasn't helping her kidneys recover. It was forcing them to constantly adapt to sugar surges they were never meant to handle. Here's the science behind that. When blood sugar spikes, blood vessels stiffen, inflammation increases, and filtration pressure inside the kidneys rises. Over time, these repeated spikes damage the tiny filtering units called nephrons. This is why diabetes is one of the leading causes of kidney failure worldwide. Even in people without diabetes, repeated morning sugar surges can quietly accelerate kidney stress. But this is where properly balanced, kidney-friendly smoothies become powerful. When built the right way, smoothies can deliver hydration, antioxidants, and steady energy without overwhelming the kidneys. The best fruits for this purpose are blueberries and strawberries. These berries are rich in polyphenols, natural compounds shown to reduce oxidative stress and protect kidney cells. They're also lower in potassium compared to many other fruits, which matters when kidney function is already compromised. The base matters just as much. Using plain unsweetened yogurt provides protein to maintain muscle and tissue, along with probiotics that support gut health. A healthier gut reduces systemic inflammation, which indirectly protects kidney tissue. What you leave out is critical: no fruit juices, no syrups, no sweetened yogurts. Those ingredients spike blood sugar fast and undo the benefits you're trying to gain. Timing is another advantage. In the morning, your body needs hydration and nutrients after hours of fasting. A balanced smoothie rehydrates you, gently stabilizes blood sugar, and gives your kidneys nutrients they can actually use. And simplicity wins here. Half a cup of berries, plain yogurt, a little water, or ice, that's enough. Some people add a spoon of ground flaxseed for fiber and heart support, but restraint is key. More ingredients do not mean more benefits. When done correctly, these smoothies support kidney cells, reduce oxidative stress, and help maintain steady blood flow through delicate kidney tissue. When done wrong, they quietly push kidneys toward exhaustion, and that's why smoothies are either one of the best morning tools for kidney health or one of the most misunderstood traps. But here's the part that surprises almost everyone. Even if you fix infections, calm inflammation, and stabilize blood sugar, your kidneys can still suffer if you get one basic habit wrong, something so simple that most people never question it. But knowing this alone isn't enough, because the next factor is the most overlooked of all, and it may ultimately decide whether your kidneys recover or continue to decline. After infections are reduced, inflammation is controlled, and blood sugar is stabilized. There's one habit so basic that most people stop paying attention to it altogether. And yet this single choice determines whether everything you've done so far actually helps your kidneys or quietly works against them. That habit is how you drink plain water in the morning. I once met a patient in his late 60s who proudly told me he drank a lot of water, and he did sometimes 2 large glasses first thing in the morning. But his ankles were swollen, his blood pressure was unstable, and his kidney numbers kept worsening. The problem wasn't that water was bad. The problem was how and when he was drinking it. His kidneys, already weakened, couldn't handle sudden fluid overload, and instead of helping filtration, the excess water created pressure and stress. Here's the science behind it. Your kidneys regulate fluid balance by filtering blood and adjusting urine output. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body is mildly dehydrated and your urine is concentrated. Drinking water in the morning helps dilute toxins, improve blood flow, and restart filtration, but only if it's done gradually. When too much water enters the bloodstream too quickly, especially in people with reduced kidney function, it can lead to fluid retention, increased blood pressure, and strain on delicate kidney tissue. Proper hydration supports everything your kidneys do. It keeps blood flowing smoothly through tiny vessels, helps flush waste products, and reduces the risk of kidney stones by preventing minerals from crystallizing in concentrated urine. Studies consistently show that chronic dehydration increases the risk of stone formation and urinary infections, both of which accelerate kidney damage over time. But more water is not always better. The goal is steady hydration, not sudden flooding. The safest approach in the morning is simple. Start with a small to moderate amount of water. Sip it slowly. Room temperature water is gentler on the body than ice-cold water, which can cause blood vessels to constrict. Some people add a slice of lemon, not for detox myths, but for mild antioxidant support and improved digestion. What should be avoided are flavored packets, sugary additives, and electrolyte drinks, unless specifically recommended by a doctor. These often contain sodium, artificial sweeteners, or chemicals that increase kidney workload instead of reducing it. Spacing your water intake throughout the day matters just as much as the total amount. When hydration is consistent, your kidneys work smoothly without pressure spikes or sudden adjustments. And this is what most people misunderstand. Water isn't powerful because it's dramatic. It's powerful because it's foundational. When used correctly, it quietly supports every other protective habit you've learned so far. But here's the part that ties everything together. Even perfect hydration won't protect your kidneys if you ignore how these habits work together. Because kidney damage doesn't come from one bad choice, it comes from small decisions repeated every morning for years. But knowing this alone still isn't enough, because the final step is understanding how all of these habits combine and why the last decision you make each morning could determine whether your kidneys stay stable or slowly move toward dialysis. By now you can probably see a pattern forming. Kidney damage doesn't usually come from one dramatic mistake. It comes from small morning decisions that stack on top of each other, quietly shaping how hard your kidneys have to work every single day. And the most dangerous part is this: many people do some things right, but one wrong habit cancels everything out. I had a patient in his early 70s who followed every recommendation he found online. He drank water in the morning, he avoided soda, he even switched to tea, but his kidney numbers kept declining. When we looked closer, the issue wasn't effort, it was timing and combination. He would start his morning with a healthy drink, then immediately follow it with a sweetened coffee creamer, a processed breakfast bar, or a flavored drink loaded with hidden phosphorus additives. His kidneys never got a break. They were constantly switching gears. Here's the science most people never hear. Your kidneys respond not just to what you consume, but to the sequence and load placed on them. Sudden spikes in sugar sodium or inorganic phosphorus, commonly found in processed drinks and flavorings, are absorbed rapidly into the bloodstream. Unlike natural nutrients in whole foods, these additives bypass normal digestion and hit the kidneys hard and fast. Studies have shown that excess phosphorus accelerates vascular calcification and worsens kidney outcomes even in people without advanced disease. This is why the morning routine must work as a system, not a checklist. Cranberry juice reduces infection risk. Green tea lowers inflammation. Balanced smoothies stabilize blood sugar. Proper hydration supports filtration. But if you layer these benefits on top of ultra-processed drinks, artificial sweeteners, or diet beverages, the damage continues quietly in the background. The solution isn't perfection, it's awareness. The safest mornings are simple. One intentional drink. A pause. Let your kidneys stabilize before adding anything else. This short window after waking is when your kidneys are most receptive to support and most vulnerable to overload. Protecting that window can mean the difference between slowing decline and accelerating it. And this is where many people feel a sense of regret later on. Not because they didn't try hard enough, but because no one ever explained that kidney health is built from patterns, not isolated choices. Once people understand this, they often wish they had known sooner. But here's what matters most. You still have control. What you do tomorrow morning still counts. And the final decision, the one most people never think about, is what determines whether these habits truly protect your kidneys or simply delay the inevitable. But knowing this alone still isn't enough, because the final piece ties everything together, and it may decide whether your kidneys stabilize or move one step closer to dialysis. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this video, it's this: you don't have to change everything overnight to protect your kidneys. You just need to start paying attention to the small choices you make each morning. Your kidneys work for you every single second, quietly filtering, balancing, and protecting your body. The least they deserve is a little support in return. And the fact that you're still here listening to this already tells me you care about your health more than most people. I'm Dr. Johnny, and I want you to know that simple habits done consistently really do matter. Choosing the right morning drink, avoiding hidden stressors, and giving your kidneys time to adjust can slow damage, reduce complications, and help you feel better day by day. You're not powerless here, and you're not alone. If this video helped you understand your kidneys even a little better, do yourself a favor and save it so you can come back to it later. And make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I regularly share clear, up-to-date medical insights to help you care for your kidneys and protect your long-term health without fear, without confusion, and without extreme advice. The most important message I want to leave you with is this: kidney damage doesn't define your future. Awareness changes outcomes. Small choices add up. And starting tomorrow morning, you have a real opportunity to give your kidneys a better path forward. Take it one calm, informed step at a time.